At this point, let me just invite our paper presenter for today. It's going to be very brief, but I'm sure you have something to take home from his presentation. Let me invite our professor, erudite scholar, a professor par excellence, Professor Ishola Akintoye, FCTI, FCA. Please put your hands together for him. I know Prof is good at because when I hold the mic, I always am in charge. So just stay. I want to read his profile. The only time we have to command or talk to big men like this is when we hold mic. If I see Prof on the road, ordinarily, who am I to say Prof should stand? Sir, just permit me. It's because I'm holding the mic. Briefly, let me just give the profile of our paper presenter for today. Professor Rufus Ishola Akintoye is the Professor of Accounting and Strategic Management at Babcock University, Nigeria. He is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Nigeria Accounting Association, and the Chartered Institute of Taxation, CITN, a life member of the Nigeria Economic Society, a fellow of ICANN, and a certified forensic examiner. To his credit, he has a first degree, 2 masters, and 2 PhD in financial management and accounting. He has worked for over 18 years in the private sector and currently with Babcock University. But before then, he has served as Dean of Faculty and Acting Provost of colleges for over 15 years. At every point in time, he has held various positions, even to the extent of being examiner and chief examiner of examination, both in ICANN and CITN from 1989 till date. At the time, he was the vice chairman examination committee and chairman of examination committee and council member to CITN. He is merit awardee for ICANN in 2017 and currently external examiner to some federal, state, and private institutions, both in Nigeria and outside the country. He is an international scholar. He has over 100 publications, both local and international, to his credit, and he has attended many local and international conferences and read many papers in the area of accounting, strategic financial management, taxation, and financial economics. He has supervised and graduated 30 PhD candidates to date and currently supervising and co-supervising over 10 PhD students. Please, without wasting our time, put your hands together as I welcome to the podium Professor Ishola Akintoye. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The President and Chairman of the Council of the Chartered Association of Nigeria, the Doyen of Taxation in Africa, Chief David Olorunleke, the outgoing Chairman and ESCO of Lagos and District Society of CITN, the incoming Chairman and ESCO of Lagos and District Society of CITN, members of Association of Professional Bodies here present, Your Excellencies, the special guest of honor, members of this noble profession of taxation, the man of the moment, Dr. Adeyemi Sani, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good day. To me, professionals are supposed to be the custodian of information. And in this case, when we talk of finance professionals, they are supposed to be the custodian of financial information that be relevant for decision making. In the same vein, tax professionals are supposed to be custodian of tax information, which will inform decision making in taxation and fiscal policy generally. Professionals are supposed to be solution to agitations and questions in the mind of the public people. Unfortunately, many professionals who had access to financial figures and information are messed up in the process of providing such for public decision making, thereby subjecting the whole professionalism to ridicule and frequent attack of integrity, fidelity, and sanctity. This has led to a number of indictments, court cases, charges, and penalties, to the shame of professionals, and whether we like it or not, institutes, professional institutes, where those people came from. So as an institute, we cannot exonerate ourselves from the misdeeds of these individuals who have taken to the streets to turn professionalism to quackery. And this is very unfortunate. Therefore, the clarion call this morning is to challenge professionals to our duty. So I will quickly give just a brief speech on engendering public confidence in professionalism, the role of tax and accounting professionals. It is no more news that all of us were used to different news that are flying up and down, that the public confidence have been left in shambles because of a lot of manipulations in the financial world, and unfortunately, collusions between the management, the company, and even the auditors. If you read papers, you will see a lot of the accountants and a lot of professional bodies, professionals who are charged to court, and they are facing a number of penalties today. The question is this: don't we still have professionals? Are we still convenient holding investigation like this? With all this, maybe at the end of my speech, we will be able to answer this question clearly. Over the years, professional institutes put a lot of effort in place to address some of these unwholesome attitudes and practices all over the place. In fact, we should not forget that the essence of professionalism is to actually control and address some of these issues. And I'm happy the donor of attention is here. So many years when people were actually agitating, why don't you allow one professional body to capture everything together? It will be very difficult. Why? Because you have different mandates, you have different platforms from where you want to operate from. So taxation is not just a subset of anything. It's a whole practice entirely. And whether we like it or not, we need people of high integrity, people that are convinced that the practice must be the practice to carry out the tax profession. So to that extent, accounting bodies put together what they call International Financial Reporting Standard, and I'm sure all of us are aware that we have what we call adoption of IFRS. The purpose of this is that so that we can have comparability and quality financial reporting. But the question is this: read your paper up to this morning. Those financial reports have been represented in the past, what the stakeholders actually wanted in the past, and what they still want today. The answer is no. During my inaugural lecture, which I gave some time back, the title of my inaugural lecture was Accounting, a misconstrued concepts requiring a redefinition. And I should challenge to all the professional bodies that we need to go back to the archives, go back to define accounting as a term, financial reporting as a term. When a professional gives you a financial report, the assumption is that you can close your eyes and issue your check and invest. But you and I know that today, that is becoming a tall order. It's more of a math than a reality. So, how do we get there? Professionals. They are put on code of conduct, and we are talking of change in corporate objective from just looking at your interests as an institute, your interest as a professional, to the interest of entire stakeholders, the people looking at you. How do you engender trust in some of these people as we talk? So, at the global level, we have issues with manipulations. We have issues with financial reporting. I'm sure it's not far-fetched. Case of Enron and all that. And also locally, We have a lot of cases. I won't mention names, but you are aware. If you have been listening to news up to this week, you see a lot of firms, professional firms, they are charged to court penalties into hundreds of millions of dollars from their financial reports. What was the problem? Because there was collusion, and therefore all the figures in the world of management, we manage 4 M's. We manage money, men, material, and machine. We that are financial people, whether in tax or accounting, we manage money. When you distort any of the information or the 4 M's, you have destroyed the whole commerce. You have destroyed the whole business process. And that is what we're saying. Therefore, now the mandates of professional institute, for example, if you're talking of accounting institute, is to regulate accounting profession. To the tax institute to regulate tax profession. To know the quality of persons that can come up to practice tax. And I'm happy today. Now, when they were reading the citation of, permit me to say Jefferson, because he was actually my student. So, I have no doubt about all that he said about him. But more than that, I can tell you a number of things about him. And I'm sure he's aware. I was supposed to send out, but the university I bought my ticket. I had to cancel my ticket because of this investigation. I'm postponed the journey. They already bought my ticket. But I said, if it is for him, I will cancel it. What we're saying is this: at the local level, we have challenges with reporting, with ethical issues, and with behavior, professional behavior of professionals. Now, the question is this: what is our role, finally? We have seen this thing everywhere. But what will be our role as professionals in resolving this menace and loss of public confidence? The first thing is that how do we restore the confidence of the public in financial reporting system? How do we, when, I'm sure all of us are aware, in the 70s, the of Kajun we know, in the olden days, all of us we know, in the olden days, anytime you open financial reports, you could close your eyes and issue a check of 5 million and invest anywhere. But I'm sure today, to issue a check of 100,000, because of element of financial statement that is rosy, because of a lot of information aspects, that a lot of things you will not know. We have seen in the capital market in the morning, you see a price of a particular, a share, and all of you rush into it in the evening. You just go there because of insider dealing. Those who have more information than others, and unfortunately, they will push into it and they will withdraw. And some of them are professionals. Then where is professionalism from what we are talking about? So, restoration of the public confidence is the first thing. How do we restore confidence of the public in professionalism to assure them that it is still possible? We must work within the ambit of the law and be guided by ethics, the expectation of various stakeholders, to rely on our figures. Even as tax professionals, we must understand in tax management and practice. I'm sure we are professionals. There are differences between taxation and tax management and practice. Now, when we look at the law, that's why we operate at the ambit of law. It's not just talking. In fact, in taxation we say tax laws are interpreted in stricto sensu. You do not interpret tax law to your own advantage. It's interpreted the way it is written and the way it is seen, and you don't pay tax because they tar the road to your house. Yes, taxation of the benefit for the benefit of the populace, but not necessarily you. But somebody would benefiting from taxation that everybody is paying. So professionals are paid to serve public interest, but their expertise must be found to be legal, to be ethical, and to be, divided, to be such that people can rely on it. It should not just be something that people will pick figures and they cannot depend, they cannot rely on your figure. We must be able to manage public interest and also be able to achieve public confidence. Not only that, whatever document we present, the communication process must be so important to us that well understood by everybody, that you do not tell people that I am good. Do not say that you are good. You must be seen to be good. Do not say we accountants, we are ethical. You must be seen to be ethical in your behavior. and you must adhere strictly to ethical issues as professionals and by our training. So effective communication is an important tool in accounting and tax profession. So all the documents we prepare must be relevant, must be complete, and must be useful. In the capital market today, what we are dealing with, we have a lot of people who are, they are speculators. They are bulls and bears. They rush to the market, they quickly buy when the prices are down, they upload when the prices are up. And some of them have a lot of information before they come to the market. And you'll be surprised. Some of the registrars are the people that will buy the shares. I will be out the shares and upload it later for people to go and buy because they have a lot of insider information. Professionals are supposed to act ethically in the interest of the public, not personal interest. It's very important. And that's what we are known for. Adherence to standard is expected to be the norm, while quality and excellence should be visible to all. Professional code of ethics should be strictly adhered to. It is very, very important that we adhere to this. In whatever we do, whatever we discuss, whatever we say, we have seen people before because of what they will do. Now, I'm sorry, the tax administrator, tax professionals, now when we go to the field, now we use the same law, we use the same document, we argue, and sometimes because of what people eat, they twist the law. The law is very clear. We as professionals must be people of integrity, be able to engender the interest and the confidence of the public in whatever we do, so that when we say we are professionals, they can look at our institute, and that's why the institute regulates the practice of tax, and it is very important that people that we want to certify, they are also found learning, worthy in, just like in the academy, you are found worthy in learning and in character. So not just in learning, you are able to practice tax, what is the character, and therefore we have ethical issues, and we have the code of conduct, and we have all those things. Even at the council level, we have committees that will charge to discipline people who misbehave, and that's very, very important. So whatever our interest is, we must go back to be able to engender the interest of the public, that we still have a few people that can still be relied on, that can still be trusted, so that as an institute, and as a district, we must be able to see that. And I'm happy today. I cannot deceive you, because what I said, that if Engendering was a questionable character, if I had known it everywhere, whether in school, anywhere, to be a questionable character, I wouldn't be here. He knows me very, very well. But because with people that we must put in, our president is here today, everybody, when she was at the Federal Revenue Service, that's a track record. There was no fraud, there was journalism and everything. So when she became the president, they let her say, nobody said, no, don't mind her. Nobody. Because we look for people of integrity, people who have been practicing tax, and today now, for us to have the joy of taxation to be here physically, we know the meaning. It means this version is very important, not only to the institute, to the professional body. It's very, very critical, and that must be our watchword anytime. In conclusion, as I conclude, because I have just a few minutes, the state of accounting and taxation is not one without hope. Like we said, the legitimacy of experts and their organization come from society, so long as we act in the interest of the public. While the public confidence and trust have been violated severally, the tax professionals will have the role in restoring the confidence of the public by applying two major theories. The legislative theory, which says acts in the interest of the public. Think of the public first before yourself. When they were reading the statute of Engendering, they said he did this for the district for this. I can tell you very clearly, Yemi paid a number of school fees of his classmates, to my knowledge. So what are we talking about? Legitimacy theory will assume that you will act in the interest of the public, not only your personal interest, even when you make all the money. So you'll be able to act in the interest of the public, and also we must remember there's what we call the social contract hypothesis theory. In the social contract hypothesis, we have the stakeholders. Whatever you do, you are a parent, you are a mother, you are a father. All that you are doing, there are some people watching you. Your wife is watching you. Your husband is watching you. Your children are watching you. There are some people on the streets where you live. They don't even talk to you. They don't greet you. When you wake up, they don't even talk to you at all. But they also watch you. And that's why, even sometimes, if you are sick and you go to the hospital, some people in the hospital will be sick, and yet they don't greet you. That you wake up and say, thank God, this man woke up today, I can also wake up tomorrow. You are the figure. You are the clock. You are the alarm that they are looking at. So whatever you do as a professional, no onus is on you. Live above God. And I want to thank God for the profession of statistician. I am bold to say it. Why we have a lot of issues, not that we don't have issues with professional accounting or tax. We have a lot of people here and there. But if you see a tax professional who went through the rudiment of taxation, who went through the normal certification of CITN. I have been examiner to CITN, I have been chairman of the exams committee. We have trained a lot of people. We are not talking people who came in the afternoon. I'm sorry to use that word. Please pardon me. Who that came in the afternoon, they didn't know where we started from. They just came to join us. They are in the crowd. Those are the market noise. And they came, they didn't know where we started from. So there was 1 year, some people called us and said, go and resign from CITN. I said, what CITN? The one you joined in the afternoon. We were there in the morning. You came in the afternoon. So you ask us where we're coming from. So why are you asking us? Because, you don't even understand. I said, but there was one council member of somewhere. He was saying, can you tell me the full meaning of CITN? I said, what do you mean? I said, what's the full meaning of CITN? Can you understand? Do you understand the charter of CITN at all? Do you know the meaning? Do you know what they put there? I said, don't let me take you up on international taxation because I know you don't know. If you are talking about local tax, you can't do that. So, to that extent, we must understand there's a social contract theory that stakeholders are looking at us. And like I said, those who were properly trained, unfortunately, like I said, unfortunately, the accountancy profession started very well. Those who started accountancy profession, it was very beautiful. Those time you read financial statement, but today, I stand to be corrected. Because during my inaugural, I documented it, but I put references so that they don't sue me. I put references, sources, where I saw them. Those who said it, and live cases of the charges against some of them up to today. If you read all the banks, financial, they are always contravening section 4. Those of you that work in the bank, apology to you. Go and look at it very well. But in tax matters, we have people, like I said, who came to tax in the afternoon. They are rushing up and down to make money out and there. But the professionals who were so trained properly and came up on the platform of what the Union of Taxation told us and taught us, yes, we believe in tomorrow because yesterday is good, today is fine, but tomorrow is better. And therefore, we don't want to destroy our tomorrow because of yesterday and today. Social contract model. All of us should go back to the clarion call of engendering confidence in the public. Let it be said that professionals can be trusted. Yemi Sani was my student, he's still my student. Now, in the university, if you are saying you are looking for a lecturer of integrity who will not change mark, who will not go and be looking for girls to sleep with and all those things, I said you want only one, ask him, what is the likely figure they will pick? It's not only there. I've been lecturing University of Baras, year 2002 till now. Ask them anywhere. A professional must be able to come up fine, and they have demonstrated that when you belong to CITN, you can stand shoulder high. That FCTI, I would rather lose all that professional certificate than losing FCTI. I will keep that FCTI anytime, anywhere, because that platform is not a platform that you can toy with. Because people have suffered for it, they are still suffering for it. We are standing, we are going to continue to stand. We have demonstrated, we are going to demonstrate to them that it is possible to do things well, to pay correct tax, to encourage people. Recently, we have been advising people to do the correct thing. I was appointed to the Tax Appeal Tribunal, where I serve now. So I asked for my tax plans. So they gave me tax plans. When I calculated, I went back to them. Sorry, this tax plans you are giving me does not represent me. You have understated my income. They look at me. Say, oh, what's wrong with you? I said, sorry, this is not my salary. That they paid me some other things. There's some other income that I earn that they did not put here. And they said, sorry. So when they calculated, they said, we are going to pay extra 400,000. I said, why not? So I pay extra 400,000. And they gave me 8,000. But they, so other, this man, this crazy man has come again. Don't quote us. I said, don't use my case as president. I'm acting on the platform of professionalism and integrity. So that if you say, I sit on the tribunal, so if I sit on the tribunal and I'm passing judgment, what conscience, moral conscience will I have to judge people on the tribunal when I know I cannot engender confidence in the public that it is possible to belong to a professional body and stand shoulder high? Lagos and the society, I want to congratulate you for the little I've heard about you. I want to congratulate you for the little I've known about you. I'm very happy with you that you have been voting for. And please, it's very important, and I'm happy that you attend conferences, MCP. Last thing, training is very critical. Let's continue to be trained, and let's listen to others when they train us. Let's listen to people at that level who will talk to us, so that at the end of the day, it is possible. I tell lecturers at university, when I was the head of the department, I've been head of the department for more than 20 years. When I call the departmental meeting, I say, sorry, if you are looking for money very, very fast, please resign and go and look for money elsewhere. It's not here. Because if you cheat any student, if you do anything, by next Monday, you are out of this department. I've seen lecturers before who brought marks. Oh, this mark, oh. I said, the highest student in your class is 56. The highest mark was 56%. Even the first class student. I said, lecturer, you will not go to that class again because you are a 56 lecturer. You taught all the students and nobody in that class. No A, no B. The highest mark was 56, which was a C. I said, it means that you did not communicate with that class. Communication was broken down in that class. You did not represent what we preach. I said, sorry, Mr. Lecturer, as from now, I have changed you. So from that time, I changed all the lecturers. No lecturer will teach only one course in my department. Minimum of 2, 3, you go there. So if you miss something to say, somebody else will say something. And when we started the PhD, I said all lecturers at university, they only examine 30% in my university. 70% is examined by all professors from other universities, not my university. They fought me, I stood my ground. Let other people look at what you are doing if you are putting it on the platform of integrity. Professionalism is on integrity. Let's work on legitimacy model, acting in the interest of the public, and social contract model, knowing that so many people are watching us. They are looking at us. So some things you are hearing today, that you did not hear. I didn't tell you before that your classmate spoke to me, helped me to thank him. They pray for you in my office, that he did this, he did that. I said, I know him very well. And if he said yes, you can close your eyes and say yes. If he says yes, if he says no, if he's not going to come to class, he's not going to be there. Say, okay, I'm traveling. Say, okay, I'm traveling, please tell us. It's not the man that will say A, I will tell you B. And he did something sometimes ago that beat my imagination. They were supposed to be talking of a particular issue. I just said, sorry, I leave it to all of them. I said, what? I want to thank you, God, for your life. And I want to congratulate you. Please don't change for what you have been doing that you know that's good. We thank God for the institute. The Union of Agents, thank you for what you took us through. We are still moving forth. And there's hope for professionalism in Nigeria, especially for the tax practice, even on the tribunals. We have not disappointed you. We will not disappoint you. Thank you very much.
I'm sure we can do better than that. While he was coming in, I told you it's not just going to be the normal classroom lecture. And I believe we've gained one or two things from what he has said. Please put your hands together again for Professor Ishola Akintoye.